Welcome to another training edition of PIB Sports Show. I'm your host, Abel Sunday, and tonight we'll dive straight into the heart of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, where drama, determination, and destiny continue to unfold across Africa. Nigerian Super Eagles have finally soared high, securing all 3 points against Lesotho, a result that has thrown Group C wide open, with South Africa and Benin Republic still very much in the race, leaving it to the last game to decide who flies to the World Cup. Joining me to analyze all the actions and what this victory means for Nigeria's qualifications hope are our Lagos-based sports analyst Walter Odige, and from the ancient city of Benin, our insightful analyst Ero John. Grab your teacup because P&B Sports start now. It's still P&B Sport live from the nation's capital. And gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks.
Yeah, good morning. It's nice to show this once again.
Yeah. It's getting intense in Group C, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's getting interesting.
On Friday we are on this show, and the dynamics and what is in fact what we are talking about, or what we are looking at, the picture we are looking at was a total different ball game. But after the Lesotho game, the Group C is wide open. South Africa dropping points, Nigeria getting all 3 points against Lesotho, and well, I think South Africa can qualify if you are looking at it now. Nigeria can also qualify, and also Benin Republic, which are sitting on top of the table. Let me start with you, Walter, before I get to Eru. Walter, of course, from your analysis ever since, you said that, well, you don't think Nigeria is going to go through anymore. It's over for us. But do you think we still have some hope?
To be fair, I think we do have hope. We have a very, very. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect our chances to be this big. We have like a 30% chance to qualify for the World Cup. I did that coming because I felt after the against South Africa, all hope was gone. But a lot of things have happened since then. In my mind, for example, South Africa we had deducted 3 points and 3 goals. One, that's one, and two. South Africa failed to beat what's it called, Zimbabwe. So now the huge, but we don't want to rely on hope because it's hope that works, man. And one, get yourself excited and get yourself ready. You might get disappointed, but Nigeria just need to beat Benin and hope South Africa against Angola, and Nigeria will be at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in USA, Mexico, and Canada. So the hope is high. I pray Rwanda are able to get a point against South Africa, and Nigeria beat Benin Republic on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. But now that's not even why I'm excited. Why I'm excited is if Nigeria can beat Benin by 3 goals to 0, regardless of what South Africa does with their life against Rwanda, Nigeria could also qualify for the playoffs. Nigeria will qualify for the playoffs if we can beat Benin Republic 3 goals to 0 tomorrow. So we'll qualify for the playoffs. These were things, as at 1 month ago when we were making analysis, we seems to be out of every. We didn't know how we are going to qualify for the playoffs. We didn't know how we are going to qualify as top of Nigeria. Can beat Benin Republic 3-0 tomorrow. Nigeria will be at the playoff, which was a fact analysis before. I prayed.
Okay. Your network is kind of fluctuating, Walter. Okay, let me go to you, Eru John. as it looks, as it stands now, you know that our destiny is no longer in our hands. So we have to pray South Africa do us a favor, and we also have to do ourselves good, how they call, beating Benin Republic tomorrow. And again, considering the fact that the Super Eagles, this qualification, we don't score as much goals as we should, considering the quality of strikers we have. Sometimes two goals, sometimes 1-0. Do you understand such kind of but do you think, with the way the situation is going from balance to steady, something fall in our hands, it will fall out of our hands? But do you think with this situation, is it a sign that something can just happen tomorrow?
Okay. Thank you very much for that. There's one thing you should know me for saying is I always say in football, anything can happen, and then also I think I've tried in being patriotic with the Super Eagles. I was there on Friday, like you said. My co-panelist was of the point that there's no need of Nigeria winning. But at the end of the analysis, I told you that I still pray and hope that we beat Lesotho, and we did that, even if it was not a convincing win. I must tell you that I was not impressed by the game. But then, in answering your question, do I think there's hope? There's a popular saying that now hope hunter gets, you not keep meat for bush.
True.
So I think there's hope. I think there's hope. There's a glimpse of hope. The reason you see I'm telling you that there's a glimpse of hope is this. Just as we are agitated, we are eager, we want to beat Benin Republic. Benin Republic also needs to win the game.
Yes, true.
They also have a clear chance of qualifying. So far, so good, like you have said. We have not been playing convincingly. I must tell you the truth. And now we have a chance at qualifying automatically if we beat them 3-0. We have not scored 3 goals in the whole of this qualifying tournament.
Very funny.
We have not scored 3 goals in one game in the whole of this qualifying tournament. Even against as bad as Lesotho, we have not scored them 3 goals. How are we now certain that we can score Benin Republic, who happens, so far for me, they have been the best team in this group? How are we now so certain that we can score them 3 goals? This is a team that beat us in their home soil. How are we now certain that we are going to score them 3 goals? We are going to clip a clean sheet, considering the performance of Wambali in the last game.
Exactly.
Wambali cost us goal. So these are factors that we should consider. Yes, do we have hope? Yes. You saw Victor Osimhen trying to ginger the players at the end of the game against Lesotho, trying to talk them, that was a good approach for him. That was what a charismatic player and leader should do. You saw how he was trying to brace them up. I was trying to make them understand that this whole ball game is now in our hands. What I'm expecting from the Super Eagles tomorrow, thank God we are playing on home soil. There will be no excuses.
Yeah.
I expect them to go all out. When you say all out, I mean all out. From the first minute, play Benin Republic like they stole money from you. Play them like they stole a national treasure from you. Because I promise you, Benin will also not come to play. They've arrived in Nigeria for how many days now? They have been in Nigeria. They also will not come to play, because just as we need the win, they also need it. So if we are going there tomorrow and we are gambling the way we always do, or we are playing try and error football, or we are playing try your luck, I can guarantee you that they will even beat us on our home soil, because they play good football. I won't lie to you. They play very good football. They have been so impressive. And don't forget that we are playing against a side who is being coached by our former coach, Genetro. So we have everything to do. And then we are also thinking about South Africa dropping points against Rwanda. As a matter of fact, this last game is a do or die for the 3 teams. Everybody has to go all out. So we are like Mr. Water said, we are hoping. Because I'm not convinced by the Super Eagles, sincerely, especially when I watched the Lesotho game. That's not how a team that is hungry, that's not how they play. I was not convinced. Yes, did they win the game? Yes, I was not convinced. What manner of football is that? And then you want to go and play Benin tomorrow. And we are all I have right now is hope that we are even able to secure a win. I'm not even I'm not that I'm not even thinking of scoring 3 goals and keeping a clean sheet. I see that as almost impossible as far as this Super Eagles team is concerned. But then I'm just hopeful that we can win. South Africa can drop points. Let's at least qualify for the playoff. But in football, you cannot rule out the possibility of anything. Yeah, so that's my take.
Thank you so much, Eru. Let me come back to you, Walter. Walter, you know that, have you noticed, anytime Osimhen is being pulled out of the game, the opponent comes at us, like they have this confidence, they just come at us, and and the abysmal performance of Wambele. Do you think we should be looking at another goalkeeper? That is one. Then secondly, do you think Eric Chell should leave Osimhen from the beginning to the end? Because I feel that probably what he did the last game was because he want to save Osimhen for the last game. You get? He want to save Osimhen for this tomorrow game. But anytime you pull Osimhen out of this game, the opponents they tend to come out vibrant, power. We would not even have. I think it's only Osimhen that is the fear factor right now on the Super Eagles side. So, do you think? I just wanted to have. I want to have your view on this point I've just laid out.
Okay, it's a strong point you've made out. It's a valid point, a very, very good point. When I was insisting on Manchester United, for example, to sign Victor Osimhen all summer, I used to say something. Remember, I said it here several times that Arsenal signed Osimhen, Arsenal will win the league. Liverpool, Manchester United, especially Manchester United, Osimhen would have transformed that football club, because Osimhen is a player that brings fear the whole team. Now, if there's an Osimhen on the pitch, your opposing team needs to be cautious, because they know if they come forward, if they attack, they will get hurt, because Osimhen is going to run at you, is going to tackle you. You cannot make a single mistake because he's at high alert. We saw that against Liverpool when he played for Galatasaray versus Liverpool in the Champions League. This was somebody that was just coming back from injury, first game, and we saw the ginger, the way you have to be scared. This is Konate and Virgil van Dijk. He was able to, mesmerize them and bring that imposing fear factor for the team. Now, let's take it to Nigeria. What you said, you pointed out against Zimbabwe. We are leading. Osimhen, I think Osimhen had scored. We are leading the game 1-0. 86 minutes, the coach made that substitute and took off Osimhen, and Nigeria, Zimbabwe got the equalizer in the 92nd minute of that game. So same as against what's it called, our last game against Lesotho. So when you remove Osimhen, you take out this fear. Now the defending team knows that, okay, it's final few minutes. Why, instead of sit back, who are we scared of? Let's attack. I was so surprised by the number of chances Lesotho were able to conjure the moment we took out Osimhen. They made about 3 chances for themselves. These were chances that they were not making in the whole 85 minutes or 80 minutes before this Osimhen substitution. So it's a problem, and I don't think today is the last game. Probably why he took off Osimhen in the last game against Lesotho was because he wants him rest him, make sure he's fit for the game against Benin Republic. So I don't think our coach will, for any reason today, take off Victor Osimhen. Osimhen is going to play the whole game today. Galatasaray should not be angry. He's not going to get injured. He's going to play the whole game. But now, this is beyond Osimhen. This is a nation that needs to fight. Like I told you earlier, they need to score just 3 goals. Like with the mess that they made in this World Cup qualifiers, the mess, because I cannot believe how we end up not beating Zimbabwe home and away, how we end up not beating Lesotho in Uyo. I can't fathom, I can't get my head around all those things. But yeah, those will be forgiven. All that will be forgiven if they can beat Benin Republic 3-0. Now, if they beat Benin Republic 3-0, irrespective of what South Africa, if South Africa win their game, South Africa goes through as group winners. But if Nigeria beat Benin Republic 3-0, I think we'll leapfrog Burkina Faso. Yeah, I was watching Burkina Faso game yesterday night, and I was praying they should not win, because if Burkina Faso had drawn yesterday night, We would have just needed 1-0 victory and we would have been at the playoffs. But Burkina Faso, they were leading 2-1 as at 90 minutes. I went to go and check again. They added another one to make it 3-1. So that third goal now, because when it was 2-1, Nigeria would have need just 2 goals against Benin Republic to qualify as one of the best losers. But they added the third goal, which means Nigeria needs 3 unreplied goals. That 3-0, 4-1, 5-2, any they want to do. And like Aaron John rightly pointed out, the minute he said it, I was like, oh, really? It's true. Nigeria has not scored 3 goals in 9 matches at World Cup qualifier. That's disappointing. The group that had Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Rwanda, Benin Republic, even South Africa. On a good day, Nigeria should catch South Africa and beat them like thief. But Nigeria has not scored 3 goals. They've scored 2 goals I think just twice or once. No, twice against Lesotho and against Rwanda. Just twice in the entire World Cup qualifying campaign. But my hope will rely on last year when we met Benin Republic in AFCON qualifiers in Nigeria. We defeated them 3-0. Yes, this was after they had beaten us in the World Cup qualifiers 2-1. When we catch them the AFCON qualifiers, we defeated them 3-0. So I think the Super Eagles need to, they need to take confidence. They need to get confidence anywhere they want to get the confidence from. They need 3 goals. They can do it. It's Benin Republic in the end. Yes, they are good. Yes, they are tough. Yes, they have a good coach. But yes, it's Nigeria that they are playing. So yes, why can't we? If we are serious, if we are intentional, since we know what's at stake, I believe the Super Eagles can go there and get the job done. Will they get the job done? I cannot say, because I can't believe that they didn't beat Lesotho 5-0. Now would have been talking about just win against the Benin Republic and qualify for the playoffs if you can never qualify as one of the top team. Because I don't know, you go to Lesotho and you allow pressure, and you even score 2 goals. Now Bali was fumbling. So I don't know. I really want Nigeria to be at the World Cup, and I can't believe that the chance is we have this chance. It was gone in my head as of last month. But as I'm speaking to you now, the chances are in our hand. Win 3-0, you go through the rigorous process of playoff. That's if South Africa win. And who says South Africa can win? We saw what Zimbabwe did to them. Why can't Rwanda draw, beat them? So yes, just finish our own homework, win our game 3-0, and let's see how the rest plays out. But like you said, Osimhen is important, and Nigeria will need him at his brilliant best in the entirety of the match tomorrow.
Okay, well said, Walter. Let me ask you, Errol. Let me go back to you. Let me give you a breather. Errol, I wanted to talk about our goalkeeper, Wambel. Is it because he does not have somebody that gives him that or fight for that number 1 spot? That is why he's misbehaved, because he was almost cost us 2 goals. In fact, we could have lost that lead with his performances. Look at the first one. He punched at a keeper. Are you supposed to punch or hit that ball to the ground? I believe that you are supposed to punch that ball out of the 18-yard box. Then that will cost the first goal. The second goal that almost entered, he just took God's favor. That makes that ball did not enter. That he just came out of this 18, and you have a defender there. Why is the communication like? Why is it that they are having break of communications? And they asked that guy to leave there. The guy left there. He still could not get the ball. Why is it like that? John, please, in 2 minutes.
Okay. For the case of Stanley Wambali, I strongly think that it is a level of confidence that he has grown over time. That I don't want that is beginning to play a factor. I am not someone that judges players by 1 game performance. Stanley Wambali has been brilliant in AFCON. He is one of the persons that took us to the final of the AFCON. So in these World Cup qualifiers, he has not been so bad per se. Some of the goals that he has considered has been goals that we beat any goalkeeper in the world. As a matter of fact, so many of the goals have been defensive errors and not his error. But like you have rightly said, he fumbled the last game. And I'm not going to judge him by that. I think he has grown confidence over time. Right from AFCON, he kept building his momentum, he kept building his portfolio, he kept building his confidence. And then at this point in time, like you have rightly said, Mr. Sonny, he does not have a challenger in quotes. There's nobody that can unseat him as the number 1 choice goalkeeper, not Uzoho, of course. So we are humans. If you must tell yourself the truth, these things happen even in the English Premier League. There are certain players that when they know that no matter what they do, at the end of the day, they will still be the first pick when it comes to selection.
They don't have replacement.
It tends to get into their head. It tends to get into their head unknowing to them. So I think the case of Stanley Nwabali is a player having a bad game. You cannot always have good games. You cannot always have good days. You will always have bad days. But I think he will be, the goalkeeping coach will talk to him. Eric Sichels will talk to him. The players will talk to him. He also knows what is at stake in the game tomorrow. He knows what is there to be proven. He knows there is a price to pay. So I don't think he will want to replicate the same performance. His psychology will be worked on. I think they have a psychology therapist that will talk to these players. Their momentum will be built, their confidence level will try to be stirred. So I expect Nwabali as well as the 10 other unfit players to be at their A game tomorrow. I don't think he should be dropped for anybody. Why are you going to drop him for? If you ask yourself, who are you going to drop him for? Will you drop the goalkeeper you have been using from the beginning of the qualifiers?
That should not even be a conversation, because you cannot drop it now, because if you are changing that back, this thing, the communication already, they've gelled together with the back four, so you cannot drop in this crucial game. I don't think this is the time you just manage what you have and finish. Yeah,
exactly.
So
I just think he will be brushed off and talked to, and then I expect him to give an A performance tomorrow. He has done it before. I expect that he will do it again.
Okay, well said. As we wrap up, let's go over to the World Cup, under 20 World Cup. We saw Morocco do it over the United States 3-1 yesterday. Sorry, yes, 3-1 yesterday. So let me start with you quickly. As we wrap up in 2 minutes, Walter, what will you tell us about Morocco? I think that's the only African team that is standing right now in the World Cup, in the under 20 World Cup.
Yes, start was 1-1. Yeah, Morocco scored 67th minute 2-1, and in the 87th minute also they scored to make it 3-1. And what I can say is they are the best team in the tournament so far, because apart from, they are not just, I think they've beaten literally everybody they've come across. They've beaten France, they've beaten Brazil, they've beaten Spain, they've beaten what's called now USA, a very good USA side at this tournament. So they are in the semi-finals already, and yeah, why not? They are the first African nation to reach the semi-final of the main World Cup, and I don't see anything that will stop them from going all the way to win this tournament. And mind you, I remember the first day we were doing our preview for this under 20. I wrote them off.
Yeah.
You asked me about Nigeria. I told you Nigeria will qualify. I told you Egypt. I told you South Africa will do well. I told you those are clear other things. And I told you that Morocco, they are in the top group. Their group have Brazil, has what's called France, have Brazil. I don't see how they will do it. I think that's the group of them. But they've proven us all wrong. They've shown that they are a team to beat. And this is what I will say. Football is not rocket science. Football is just like real life. If you prepare well for anything in this life, trust me, you will get good results. If you don't prepare well, you won't get good results. It's as simple as ABC. Morocco, we all know the amount of money Morocco have imputed in football. We all know the infrastructure. We all know the youth developments. We all know what they have done. So this is the reward. Semi-final is not fluke. Yes, they are in the semi-final, and happily so. So I'm happy for Morocco, and also I want them to go all out. I want them to win. I just want them to be rewarding their country federation for all they've done for them. And we saw them in their women football, back-to-back WAFCON finals. We've seen it in their youth football. We've seen it in their national team. They got to the semi-final of the World Cup. And they'll still be hosting the AFCON this year. So hopefully they will get to the final, achieve something great. So I'm happy for them, and good luck to them in the semi-finals.
Okay, thank you. So quickly, Aaron, we are running out of time. Quickly, I just want to hear your thoughts on this Moroccan team that has got into the semi-finals. Quickly, in 1 minute as we wrap up.
I strongly agree with what my colleague Mr. Walter has said. It's early preparation gives good results. It's as a result of proper planning and preparation. And that's one thing we lack in our beloved Nigeria. You see the Morocco team, like he said, from the national team to the women's team, and even the present under 20, you will see a team that is prepared. These things don't hide. You will see it. It is very clear. We saw how they got to the semi-finals of the World Cup, the last World Cup. We saw how the women's team got to the women's AFCON final. We see how good the national team is, even without having so many profound A-list players. So you begin to ask yourself, what then is the difference? The difference is clear. They invest massively in their sporting system, in their football federation, and then they plan, they prepare. They are going to host the next AFCON. That is proper planning and preparation. So what do you expect from a country as that? They will always give the best. When these players are encouraged, when these players see that the nation is doing everything possible to make them better, they are investing wisely. The only good and gratitude they can pay to their country is to excel at the upfront, and that's what the Morocco team is doing. And I give them credit for that. I give them sincere credit. They have been doing so well. So it is just a matter of proper planning, and it has been paying off for them. Thank you.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you, gentlemen, indeed, for your honest analysis on this show. Thank you so much for coming up with this show. Well, that is the size of our show this morning, and you can connect with us in all social media platforms at YouTube and Facebook at Politics and Business Television TV _English. At YouTube, you can connect with us on P&B TV _English, and on X, P&B TV _ENG. I'm Abel Sunday, and from me and the entire team right in Abuja, I say goodbye.